G'day, I'm Scott. I'm from Broome, Western Australia, but I'm a Gooniyandi man in Merong Gudgerong from Fitzroy Crossing. There's a little community outside of Fitzroy Crossing called Mulija, and my dad is from a town called Kununurra, but our language group there is Merong Gudgerong. My mum and dad was born at the tail end of the stolen generation. I hope many of you already know what the stolen generation was and the impact that it has had in terms of intergenerational trauma. There's a period of my life where it's non-existent, like I've literally blocked out. And during that time I actually started having really bad night terrors. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and like completely screaming, and I'd realize what I'm doing but I can't control my body. I went to year 10, and year 10 is when you first get your room by yourself. And when I was alone in the room, it started up again. And I remember panting in my room because I started to realize the moments where it would initiate. I'm hearing voices in my head, people talking to me, don't know what is happening, my heart is racing, and I'm ready to like completely self-destruct. There was one point where I had this huge incident where I did self-destruct, and I ran through the boarding house screaming, and I smashed the front window of the boarding house. And then I walked back to my room having realized what I'd done, and only one person come and they said, "Oh, you right, mate?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm right." And then no one actually talked to me or spoke to me about that after that. There's a piece of chewing gum that I bought, I don't know, randomly. And then it started one night. I grabbed the chewing gum and I started chewing. And then as I was chewing, I was thinking about my grandmother and my niece at the time that was born and family. And I actually matched my heart rate with the chewing. And as I chewed, I actually brought my heart rate down. And all the voices that were so loud, like urging me to do some stupid things, slowly but surely went away. I was creating things in my mind as to why this was happening, and I was hearing a lot of times from my parents, oh, it's only because you're having a fever or you're sick or you got a cold or a flu that it's actually making you have these episodes. But I felt it was so much more. A lot of those words such as intergenerational trauma, even mental health, was non-existent, I feel. What I did was really kind of suppress it a bit more, I guess, by saying that, "Yeah, mate, I'm okay." And I feel like at that point I should have actually opened up a bit more and actually said, "No, I wasn't okay." And like reflecting now, I feel like, why didn't I do that? It's like at that point right there, given that time, that moment in time where I could have actually furthered that conversation, be in control of that conversation, and actually say, "No, brother, I'm not okay." And actually say, can you have a yarn with me, or actually can we do something or talk about it and really further that conversation. If you look at me, I'm the rugby player, the big macho guy maybe, the stereotype doesn't fit the model in terms of what I was going through with my mental health. And I think that is a stigma, is that as men we think we have to be tough, we have to roll through the punches, and we have to put it deep into that Pandora's box that is somewhere hidden from everything. And that's what I was going through at a very young age. I wish I had spoken to my mum and dad a bit more about this instead of suppressing it, putting it aside. A lot of it comes out in my expressive side through art, through poetry. A little by little, soon enough, this emptiness that I feel slowly be filled with something else than just this dark abyss. It has been a huge journey in terms of regaining that cultural identity, and that whole narrative has always been a huge part of me and everything that I do, and more so bringing that story forward and sharing that story. By sharing, you open up the endless potential. Once you tell your story and really get it out there, you'll come to find that you can breathe without that heavy weight on your shoulder. And that was so great to feel that after sharing my story, because I was heavy my whole life. I've taken it as something that has been a part of my journey that has fully given me the confidence and persistence and patience and positivity that it has allowed me to move forward. A lot of the times we get trapped in what was and what is happening, that we can't see the future. That you can't actually grow unless you go through something challenging, or I feel uncomfortable, and that's why a lot of times I am always uncomfortable doing a lot of things, and it's where I grow. And I have never stopped or held back I've always wanted to grow.